How about this? Mark Zuckerberg is dead serious about his MMA fight. If you guys remember, he tore his ACL while training before.
That's not happening. Listen.
Why?
Did you see my favorite part when he was on Rogan? Complete fraud. My favorite part of him on Rogan is he's trying to relate to Rogan. He goes, I bow hunt. And as soon as I came out of his mouth, I went, oh, you fucked up. Rogan goes, really? And we've known Rogan so long, you can tell when he smells bullshit. He goes, really? What bow do you use? And he goes, man, someone from the team bought it. He goes, do you know what brand it is? He goes, I don't. And Rogan goes, interesting. And who's teaching you how to shoot this bow? He goes, like the people at my house, like he just goes down and and he's like, this is embarrassing. Rogan goes, yeah.
Joe will go like this. He'll get.
Oh my God. My whole thing again, he's like, yeah, the Biden campaign was censoring us and threatening us, and they were horrible to us. And we're gonna put a stop to that. And we're taking tampon out of the men's bathrooms. Cool. You can forgive him now that he's coming around and Trump's president, and Trump has that lawsuit against him, and he's part of. So he's doing all this to cover his ass. Whatever. You can change, and we can forgive him. It's all good. He wants to be on this side now and grow his hair out and do TRT and train with MMA fighters, act like he's not a cuck. Cool. We can forgive you for what you did, but you don't forget what he did. He sold his soul.
I have a different take on it, maybe.
He also funded the Biden campaign. Don't forget that.
It might be also that he, I like Rogan and I were talking about this. When you start training, your testosterone goes up, and they've done these really interesting studies on how testosterone.
You guys are cute. Yep,
how testosterone changes your political proclivity.
Sure.
And I feel like he feels better like this.
Yeah.
I think he likes being a guy.
Yeah. And you see Mark Zuckerberg's training so hard.
Well, first of all,
releasing his testosterone higher.
I think Mark.
I think
Zuckerberg, he looks different.
Yeah, it's called TRT, Brian.
Oh, maybe. But that'll change you.
You think he's training so hard.
Yeah.
He's put on all that weight from that?
Yeah, I don't think he's that heavy. It's not that muscular.
He's gained a significant amount of muscle.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think also he's a very disciplined guy, probably has the best trainers, best food.
Oh, of course,
right?
yeah. And they're like, your testosterone's probably whatever.
I have a feeling, though, I think, first of all, I think that they
I'm not saying this isn't, I'm glad he's doing all this.
No.
But hey, I'm saying good for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the fun side.
No.
Let's not forget, though, what you did.
100%.
Suppressing, taking people's pages down,
100%.
donating to the Biden campaign.
But I have
Don't
a
forget
feeling,
that.
Bubba,
now that it's cool to be Mr. Trump, now it's cool to be on Team Trump, he's like, can you believe we did that?
But it might also be that
lawsuit?
With a company that big, he got snowed in. This is what I mean. They got COVID wrong. They just did.
Of course they
From
did.
masking to vaccines to everything. To
Took down
space,
people's pages, misinformation.
All of it, they got it all wrong.
Yeah.
He's running a company. I think he looked at that and saw that team of people and said, I built this thing. You guys made me look really fucking dumb. All you guys. All you motherfuckers made me. I'm in front of Congress. I'm the one taking all this heat. I'm trying to run a company.
Because you call the shots, bud.
Right, but there's a limit to what you can do.
Not at
that's
all.
Why,
Not
that's
being
why
the
the
CEO.
safety thing, they had the safety guy was a social democrat, all that stuff. So he's like, he's a capitalist. So he's like, you guys made me look like a fucking idiot. You got everything wrong. I was doing what I was, the Biden administration is yelling at me, trying to fucking change everything. I'm dealing with that, the FBI and everything else. He goes, and I think nobody who's got an ego like that, who's that smart and also built something that big, likes to look stupid. And he fired the guy, the safety team. He said, we're going to do community notes, which is a better idea the way X does. And he was like,
where was this energy 2 years ago?
Well, 2 years ago, in a lot of ways, part of it might have been he thought he was on the right side of history.
Yeah.
But I would also say one more thing.
You guys are too...
No, I'm going to say this. I think anybody who runs a huge company like that, okay, wants to be on the good side of an administration.
Of course.
Right? Good for business.
It's the only reason.
Good for business.
Dude, he's in the lawsuit that Trump has.
It's also possible he did change his mind. It's also possible he changed a little bit.
It's also possible he had to.
100%.
What do you think happened?
100%. But he's a very smart guy. And I think he's also a guy who can look.
It's also a business decision.
He can also look at it and be like, hey, guess what? You got it wrong with COVID. And I trusted you because I was trusting the science and Fauci and all those people because we all kind of trust. And he goes, and you were fucking wrong. And now that I'm looking at everything and I paid a price, here's the other thing. Facebook is a news source. He's looking at what crisis every news organization is in because they got it wrong. And here, watch this. Politico, huge organization. You know what they ran in the middle of the fires? You know what they ran in the middle of it? Talk about tone deaf. They go, Californians are terrified of Trump's arrival. That's what we're terrified of with these fires? Okay. You fucking losers. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, I think he realizes that Facebook.
He's a businessman.
Facebook could go the other. Like, if Facebook gets it wrong again, the way they did with COVID, and so people are going to turn on them too. And the same thing could happen with them. So I think he's a businessman. At the end of the day, he's like, I want to get this shit right. And the people I have in power are getting it wrong.
I'm gonna do what's right now that salvages the company and makes the company money.
Right. It's a business thing. So it's a business decision.
It's a business. Yeah. That's all it is.
But don't let him fool you though. But he may be aligned more with us than he is with the fucking far left.
Now.
I think he always probably was. I don't.
No, you give him too much fucking credit.
I think these guys.
He donated the Biden campaign.
But I think guys like, because it was good for business. I think guys like this, Zuckerberg, in a lot of ways, started apolitical. They were like a little bit autistic, or they were just high functioning, very smart people that were more techie.
Of course.
I don't know how political they were.
Yeah, right. Like us.
Yeah, exactly. And then they get woken up and they go, hey, this is bad for business. It's bad for me.
Yeah.
That side is all liars, or they're just not, and all that. So
yeah,
it's a combination.
But I think if he came out and took accountability and owned it, was like, listen, I was going with what the Biden campaign, I donated at the time I thought I was right. I was way off. I fucked up. We went too far. I put tampons in the men's bathroom at Facebook. It was crazy, man. I woke up one day and went, holy fuck. I've gone too far.
Any guy,
we're doing it different.
To your point,
you got to own it.
To your point,
so that's my thing. You can apologize. Just own it.
To your point, anybody who owns a company that big, you better be on the right side of the administration. You want to be playing ball with whoever's in power, especially if the Republicans control the.
But just own it. Just own it. Don't grow your hair out and do steroids, and all of a sudden you're this bro.
He looks good. I like the new look. Voice sounds different. Neck is thicker.
I shoot bow and arrows. When he said that,
hey, you know what though? He wants to hang out with guys like Joe over the people he's always been around. People like the Austin crew's a lot more fun. Guys like us are a lot more fun to hang out with than,
of course,
than those fucking,
of course,
than the super sensitive.
Of course.
Thank you.
Again, I don't have an issue with them. Forgive them. All good. Welcome to the team. About the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Well, you know why you're doing it.
He's a bad motherfucker. It's all right. He's a bad motherfucker.
I think our definition of bad motherfucker is different. Yeah, I think he's a smart motherfucker.
He also
capitalized on it.
He not only built something, he continues to grow it. He's a bad motherfucker. That's a very smart, very disciplined, very, very competitive.
Sure.
Bad motherfucker. He's not built like a pro athlete.
Sure.
But
it's tough. I mean, we don't have to get into it. He didn't create Facebook. You know this, right? If we want to get down in the nitty gritty, he didn't create Facebook. No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. No. The twins did, and that's why they got bought out. He stole the idea from the twins.
Dude. He's taken that company to
for sure.
It is. Yeah,
for sure.
He's an amazing businessman.
Amazing businessman.
He's a very smart,
wicked smart.
Yeah, very disciplined. He's got a lot of. He's a badass. He's not a cuck. He's an alpha male.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
One of the richest men in the world.
That makes him alpha.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So George Soros is an alpha.
100%.
Wow.
I mean, I like him, but he's a bad.
Bill Gates is an alpha.
100%.
The guy with tits.
Bill Gates is 100% an alpha.
Oh, see, I think our definition of alpha is different.
He's smarter than anybody you know, Bubba.
Yeah, smart doesn't make you an alpha.
Of course
Bubba.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
More competitive than anybody you know.
No.
Smarter. He built Microsoft.
No, that doesn't make you an alpha. Bubba.
He built an empire.
Success doesn't make you alpha.
But I think building an empire makes you an alpha.
Oh, I disagree. I disagree. There's guys with empires who are.
But when you have that many people working for you.
Doesn't make you an alpha.
What's him and Elon Musk? Is Elon Musk an alpha?
I'll tell you right now. I don't know. He's they're outliers.
They're alpha.
Alpha to me is this. So you're looking at success and he has all these accolades and money in the bank. Doesn't make him alpha. If a person came in to rob his house, he will not protect it. I guarantee you, to the T, Mark Zuckerberg would run fucking fast.
I don't know what that means, because right now you're talking about one definition of strength, which is somebody who can fight. But fighting is
courage, bud.
Oh, I think
courage.
I mean, I think courage is also compartmentalized, right? Because when so I can answer that right away. Courage.
You know what's courage?
Courage is compartmentalized. So some guys can't swim; they'd be terrified in water.
So let's take physical courage away from it. Courage is not putting tampons in men's bathroom when everyone tells you to. Hold on. Courage.
Yeah, that's a minor detail.
Sure, minor.
It's a minor
super
detail,
minor.
but it is. When you're running an empire, he doesn't pay attention
I know
to that.
he can do that stuff.
He doesn't.
So courage is not taking funding from the Biden campaign to suppress information. Courage is going, no, that ain't right.
That's not true. I don't think you were there. I think courage is this. Elon Musk has a lot of courage, right? He takes risks. So does Mark Zuckerberg. Everything that guy does is a risk, right? So buying the acquisitions that they do all the time, can be right or wrong. He is a major risk taker.
Right? Courage is not acquiring companies when you're already a billionaire. His life does not change, Brian.
Zuckerberg
not now,
badass dude.
Oh, I disagree.
Badass.
I disagree.
I
think he's a good businessman.
I don't know how you accomplish what he accomplished without being a risk taker, having balls. I think our definition of alpha is just different. I mean, somebody invading your house. I mean, it all depends, right? We'd all be afraid. It's just if you have the weaponry. If you don't, you're going to be like, holy fuck, 5 guys with masks. I mean, that's just. I think that you're off. I think you cannot.
Just for sticking up
say
what's right.
You cannot say a guy who changed the business landscape of the world with 3 billion.
It doesn't make him alpha.
It makes him. It certainly does. It doesn't make him a beta. I'll tell you that much.
I disagree.
He's more competitive than anybody you know. He wins more than anybody you know.
Than anybody I know?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I fought in the UFC.
Way more
You think a guy coming up with a tech company is more competitive?
100%. Have you been around these guys? Have you been around
I
these
have.
guys?
My dad's one of them.
Your dad's not Mark Zuckerberg.
No, he's not Mark Zuckerberg. No. All I'm saying, and you don't, Bubba?
Yeah.
Competitive?
Yes.
Professional sports to tech?
No, that's
risk, buddy?
100%. 100%.
Oh, no,
you have one idea. It's hilarious. You have one measurement of success or a risk. Professional sports compared to a guy who like Elon Musk, who changes, Elon Musk, let's take it. Look, so you're comparing professional sports, which is adorable. It's adorable. You're built a certain way. You go into that's what you've been doing your whole life. You know how to navigate, running, punts back, whatever it might be, catching balls, compared to a guy.
For what?
Compared to a guy who gets an electric car company off the ground.
Yep.
Makes it the most successful company.
Hold on, before you do that,
SpaceX, and everybody says you're going to fail, you're going to fail, you're going to fail.
I know. Okay,
huge risk.
Still a billionaire,
buys X.
Still a billionaire.
Yeah, I know. He got there.
PayPal.
He got there because of that. He's not a billionaire because everything he's done has been risky. Everything Elon Musk has done, they've said you're going to fail. Everything.
Sure.
SpaceX, Tesla, buying Twitter, everything. And what has he done? Crushed it every time.
Yeah.
He is a visionary.
Agree 100%.
The biggest risk taker and more competitive than anybody on the planet.
I disagree.
You don't become those people
I think Dana White's more competitive than...
You don't become those guys without being off the charts competitive. You don't.
I think our definition in competitive is different.
No, Bubba.
Because Elon's competing against who with that?
The world. Everybody else who's competing with him. The guys that build these businesses are otherworldly. They're nuts. They really are.
Agree.
Yeah. Anybody who's that successful has a competitiveness that I don't think most of us can even comprehend. Jeff Bezos, who works more than the guy works. They were saying he works literally 17 hours a day. He doesn't sleep. Trump, same way. These people are out of their minds. I think they are. When you hear people talk about them, like Musk, when you hear people talk about Bezos, they talk about the fact that they can work harder and longer, and they're more competitive than anyone else. I've talked to Lex Friedman about Elon Musk. Musk is an absolute visionary who's like, let's just go. And everybody's like, but this doesn't make sense. He goes, shut up, don't be a bitch. I promise you. I promise you.
Yep, I definitely think he's competitive in the tech space.
He's just a competitive human being.
Yes.
He happens to have a brain that works in that.
Mm-hmm.
If he had the body, if he had a body that was like,
what happens?
If he had your body, he would have been a pro athlete.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
Bill
mindset.
Gates too, right?
It's the same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates is smarter than everybody in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Gates, have you read about Bill Gates? I have.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so Bill Gates was beyond competitive, beyond. Like to the point where it was so out of control that and if you worked for him, he was like, listen, bitch, those guys, there was no like time off. You are going to win and crush everybody. They are conquerors. They are nothing short of conquerors. Nothing short. They are scorched earth motherfuckers, dude.
For sure.
I mean, your metric for
physicality,
that doesn't, you're adding physicality.
I'm not physical. No, discipline across the board.
So is competitiveness.
For sure.
Yeah. And so is being a leader and setting an example and taking, when everybody else in the world is saying this isn't going to work and you say, fuck off, it is. I promise you all those guys have done that way more than anybody else. That's what they wouldn't be where they are. They broke the mold. They were the guys who said, this is going to work. And everyone said, no, it's not. I promise you. Everyone. Elon Musk especially. They were just talking about him. Especially Musk.
Elon's an
SpaceX
outlier.
is going to die.
Yeah.
But Tesla's going to fail. I remember it so well. I remember I wanted to buy stock and I had people say, don't do it. It's going to fail as a company. Over and over. And people never want to give the guy his due. I remember with Twitter, he bought Twitter and they were like, it's not going to work.
I think people give it his due. My only thing with that, so let's say Tesla bombed. He's still a billionaire. He has the resources to keep going to the end of the earth to make it happen.
So actually, that's also a misnomer. So a lot of these guys, their wealth is in their stock. It really is. It's actually not in their cash. So it really is in their stock. So that's why when they say he's worth $400 billion, take it easy.
Let's say they're off by 350 million.
Yeah, but that's
350 billion.
Yeah, no. But that's not.
Let's say
they don't have.
He's still a billionaire. Either way you paint it.
But he was always that person. Is what I'm saying.
Sure,
he got himself.
But all I'm saying is you have the resources. He can go to the end of time, dude.
Now,
several times over.
Now, but that's actually not true. I remember they were talking about. In fact, that's not true because when he bought Twitter, read up on that.
You can.
If that had really failed, he would have been in some trouble. He really been really leveraged.
No.
Yeah, he would have.
No.
He would have been in leverage.
He could still fund it
Tesla,
himself.
and he was at a point with Tesla that way too, where if it had gone, if that stock had gone to zero, he would have been in real trouble. Real trouble.
But to compared to everybody else, he'd still be okay.
He would be able to live in his house, but he wouldn't be some multi-billionaire.
He'd be a billionaire.
I don't know about that.
He'd have millions in the bank, guaranteed.
Millions, but
guaranteed,
that doesn't
guaranteed.
mean. But Elon Musk was always an insane risk taker and continues to be a visionary. So it's the wrong guy to criticize. Actually,
I'm not criticizing Elon.
Yeah, but it's also the wrong guy to say he's not an alpha or he doesn't take the risks that pro athletes do. You're off on that.
I just think we're off being. It's all good. It doesn't matter.
Hey, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but there's.
I think our perception of sports and tech guys are different. That's all good. I don't want to argue.
I think if you were with him, right, and you were playing anything with those guys, you'd be shocked at how competitive they were at everything.
And you ready for this? I think you would be shocked.
Yeah, I think they're like Michael Jordan.
Wow.
I think they're just as competitive as Michael Jordan. I don't think Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos are any less competitive than Michael Jordan at all. Yeah, I think it doesn't track that they would be.
I think if they played a game that they can't win, so what do you mean? So compare them to Michael Jordan,
just the drive to win,
Bryant.
just the drive to win, and the drive to put in that time. They put in just as much time as Kobe Bryant. I promise.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And why? Because they want to win.
And it's different. Their skill sets is mental. Yeah.
So it's all compartmentalized. So intelligence, courage, competitiveness, it's all compartmentalized, right? So a lot of times you'll see people that are super competitive with what they do, but when they're hanging out, they're, like Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan is really fucking relaxed and chill until you want to fuck with him. And then
I think it's just different. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to make this business, whatever, $100 million business faster than you, you're going to have some trouble with Zuckerberg. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, if I say one of us can win $1 billion, whoever doesn't stop running, I guarantee you will stop running then way before anybody I mentioned.
I think that if some people can push themselves physically beyond other people, and and other people can push themselves mentally beyond other people.
Yeah, agree.
Right? So it's compartmentalized.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't label Zuckerberg as an alpha just because he has a successful business. I know some successful people that are worth hundreds of $millions, and I would not label them an alpha.
Well, I would say, alpha's always tricky. I don't like using the word alpha actually anyway.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I don't know what it means. Guys can be complete beta. Like if you saw Einstein walk in the room, you'd be like, that guy doesn't look very physical, but he's a fucking.
No, it's not. But it's not even about being 6'6", 250 pounds, 4%. It's not that. That's not an alpha thing.
Yeah. Einstein,
it's just courage.
When you read about Einstein, his arrogance, but his drive to prove
Sure.
that he could unlock the secrets of the universe. I mean, that's that kind of a person.
different level.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to come to agreement. I don't find Zuckerberg is far from it.
I think if you were around him.
Yeah. I think it would solidify my answer. Yeah. But you dig him.
What do you guys think? What do our listeners think?
We have a definition up here. It just says the most successful and powerful male in any group.
There you go.
So it could be either or.
that would be Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
But
To that
powerful as
definition,
well.
for
Like
sure.
powerful could also be physical. You know, it could be all sorts of things. So you guys are both right.
I don't think
all
Michael
good.
Jordan and those guys were great because they had incredible physical gifts. But it was Jordan's mindset, Kobe's
Mental,
mindset.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. That's what separates them.
their ability to push themselves
That's what
beyond
separates
the
them
limit.
for sure.
And that's like Bezos, the ability to push himself and work harder than anybody by far.
And
Inhuman.
think different.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But Steve Jobs, like same thing, just out of his mind, just like no, you can't do this. Fuck off. Yes, I can. Using whoever he had to get that job done. You know, Quincy Jones. They would talk about him. He was going to stop at nothing. Came from like the worst place in the world, and was like, I'm going to get to the top of the mountain, no matter what. You know, I think those people are all. I think that mindset is a mindset. You know, it's a mindset. And I think some people have the strongest minds. And I think people like that have minds that are so fucking strong. They're just so strong. They don't need sleep the way we do. They don't need food. They can shut shit off. Their ability to concentrate, to focus until the job is
task,
done.
yeah.
It's really focus.
Yeah.
They say that. They say like focus is I talked to our boy Joey and I said, what do you think is your success? You know,
Joey
and he
who?
goes, Joey Janum, my buddy.
gotcha.
He goes, I think it's just like, I don't think I'm smarter than anybody. I just can focus for long periods of time.
Yeah. And
Like
do
he
whatever
can
it
just
takes.
focus, man. That might be the
interesting.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that weird inhuman focus for ferociously long periods of time. I think that's Rogan's secret. Rogan will play a video game if he's competitive for 15 hours and then pass out because he forgot to eat.
Wow.
That's why he stopped playing
Yeah.
Quake.
Laser focus.
Yeah. That's why he doesn't want to play golf
Just
because
a
he knows
work
he'll get
ethic.
obsessed.
Like
yeah.
relentless, whatever you're doing.
Yep. Pretty soon you're better than everybody.
Yeah. It's interesting.